Residential housing for sex offenders in Winnebago County has been in the works since early last year. After a meeting in Oshkosh Tuesday night, the last hurdle was cleared.
These are individuals who've served their time, they've gone through treatment, they're continuing treatment under intense supervision. We can't just throw these people away.
The Oshkosh Common Council approved the city's conditional use permit, meaning a facility in Oshkosh could soon house up to 8 registered sex offenders. Lynnsey Erickson was one of the board members who approved the project.
I personally did not vote to defer this. I felt that the county really did provide that information to us.
But the plan did face some resistance. The vote was delayed from a December 13th meeting after some board members were unsure if creating more space for offenders was a good idea.
I understand that they've served their time, but these are some of the most sexually violent predators that have walked the face of the earth, and they have a high chance of reoffense. I'm not a fan.
Board member Matt Muggerauer expressed concerns about the high concentration of sex offenders in the city, but law enforcement and city officials say those living in the building would be monitored.
This location meets all the state requirements as well as the local requirements in terms of distance. We have a requirement that we have to notice anybody within 1,500 feet. Obviously, the public's aware of it, but it's 1,500 feet completely contained within the Winnebago County's property.
Oshkosh City Manager Mark Roloff says discussion led to the chosen location. The site is also within a mile of the county sheriff's office. County Executive John Damo made the initial proposal, which he says wasn't easy.
This is probably the hardest policy piece that I had to push to our county board to ask them for $1 million. I'm not asking for your support on this. I'm asking for your understanding.
While the board will move forward with the project, Muggerauer is weary of the consequences.
This is not the answer. $1 million investment is not the answer. It's probably just the beginning. At some point, somebody's got to stand up and say enough is enough. And for me, this is that time, this is that place.
The city of Appleton is already finding ways to help fight the housing shortage in Wisconsin. Park Central will be one of the city's newest apartment buildings downtown. Corey Van Evenhoven, Director of Leasing and Development, says it will consist of 39 residential units.
It's going to meet the need for a lot of people that want to live in the area.
According to Forward Analytics, there are a few factors contributing to the shortage. A lack of land to build on.
There isn't a ton of space available, so there's a lot of redevelopments taking place in the area.
And a large portion of baby boomers retiring. Director Dale Knapp says he expects them to stay in their homes for another 15 years or more.
To solve all of our workforce problems and housing problems, we're looking at needing to build, somewhere in the range of 200 to 230,000 new housing units by 2030.
That's for the state. For the city, Kara Holman, Director of Community and Economic Development, says Appleton conducted a similar study.
It's my understanding we have about 400 units either recently brought online or in queue, with hopefully more to come.
In the same 10-year period, the city needs about 3,000 new units.
Accommodating housing in a downtown is really filling that niche for what the workforce as well as recent retirees or soon-to-retirees are looking for.
According to the 2016 market analysis done for the city, 52% of a public survey said they would consider living downtown. Now, the housing unit demand for downtown ranges from 750 to 800 units between 2020 and 2030.
They're looking for an active lifestyle. They're looking for things to do during the day, after hours.
Affordable housing will also be more challenging for young adults. Living in downtown areas can cost a bit more, which is why Van Evenhoven is also focusing on areas outside the downtown area.
I'm working on Marathon Flats in Neenah, which will be a conversion of an office building into 55 and over independent living units.
Citizen Task Force members toured the recently renovated Baird Elementary in Greenbay. What they saw here could be inspiration for MacArthur Elementary School, which ATSR planners, architects, and engineers determined is beyond repair.
I know it was built with a different philosophy, an open concept philosophy, which was big at the time, but that must have been 40-some years ago.
Citizen Facilities Task Force member Pat Quinn says he believes smaller schools are more efficient.
I hope that in one way, shape, or form, it can either be rejuvenated or rebuilt in its existing area, because that community wants an identity with a smaller school.
Other members on the tour are waiting to hear more before making a decision on MacArthur.
I'm coming in, clean on that. I really want to, hear all the information, take it in, and be able to offer feedback based on what I learn and see and along the way.
Boundary changes are also something to be considered.
But I don't like the concept of busing from one neighborhood to another simply to fill a school. If there's a need in an area, let's take some of the money and build a school and let that development occur in the area.
Yeah, boundary changes are tough. They can be a trigger point, but I think we have to have that discussion and have it open and get feedback from the entire community.
Task force members say they hope that their contributions create a better learning environment for students.
But I think if we gather all the information and we have great conversation and talk about it, we can come up with some good solutions for the district and the community.
The task force will present a recommendation to the Board of Education in May.
Strong schools yield strong communities yield strong cities.